mill, so a lot of flexibility for TnC in their opener with the Enchantress. The Mirana is really just nice into the Enchantress as well. We talk about this every time, but you enchant the creep, the Mirana is probably going to find it with the arrow. So you do have to watch out for that from for TnC. If they want to try to maximize that, Febby's going to have to micro those creeps well. Team Dog also managed to fall back into the Undying. Pick up for Team Dog. They've loved going back to this hero. Paulson does deliver. Just gets his spacing right, can get the heals off. In laning, it's pretty nice to have as well. Dropping some of that strength and allows you to get some zoning around there. So a strong pickup for Team Dog. TnC gonna have to find a way to respond here. They do have some solid control with a Void Spirit alone, but the Enchantress, the effectiveness of that against Mirana, it just always seems less than ideal of a pick now for TnC.
Does. We'll go into the next ban phase. It feels like Team Dog again is not really showing too much of their hand here. Time in a row, they've gone for that Undying support.
TnC
I believe that should just be another Pos 5 Undying, and of course we already know that Mirana's going to be a Pos 4. But as far as that goes, it's more of a deny pick against TnC. I'm very curious as to what kind of strategy TnC goes down this game. The Morph win ranges seem like a good way to go. It looks like they've given up on the Morphling entirely now. They're not planning to go back to that. Or maybe they do if it's not banned out. You just never know. Both teams, of course, will be quite desperate to get this game 3 victories. It will the 2-1 lead, which will mean you're 1 game away from being able to pull off the grand finals. Wait out this ban phase before we get to go on, as TnC Predator are wasting a fair bit of time. They actually, interestingly enough, got rid of the Pangolier themselves, and now even the Timber, so it seems like they're just focusing in on those Ice heroes. I feel like Ice may have had a bit too much impact that last game, which I wouldn't disagree with, because he was having a hell of a lot of impact. They just want to try and make it as kind of uncomfortable for Ice as they possibly can.
Yeah, still has a couple of options available here for Ice though. Tidehunters in the pool if he wanted to. Viper still remains in that pool, and he did deliver the goods on that Viper last time, so could still go for that here for Team Dog. TnC, if they just focus on these Ice bans, you leave a lot of option for Abed. They do take out the Morphling, so that does clear them out from the Morphling themselves. TnC is going to have to approach this game differently. Team Dog, for their part, those big offlaners we mentioned are in the pool, and a lot of Abed heroes are left in the pool as well. So Team Dog has a lot of leeway here in what they want to go for. They also have last pick overall, so if they want to let the mid pick slide through the second phase, could try to pocket it for the last pick overall, and they could try to go for something flexible in these next 2 picks first.
Sure. Team Dog, final ban for them. The In Your Dream Anti-Mage has been left there if they're looking to go back to that this game around. TnC not really caring too much about it apparently, just leaving it there. It's like Team Dog will ban out the Doom now as well, so just wanting to make sure that they don't have to play up against the Doom this game. It's absolutely fair enough, because Mel, if you felt like he was having a bit of a tough time in the mid lane, you can go back to the Doom, and Doom just generally, at minimum, evens out the lane with Devour. But this third pickup now, got to see some cores coming up from both these sides. Team Dog to start. Now, generally, they leave the Ice hero till last. So it is very possible we just seen In Your Dream or Abed hero pop up here. Preferably In Your Dream, I think, if I remember the pattern correctly.
Yep.
There you go, the Troll's out. Right.
We've seen this come out every now and again. It has been a bit mixed, although I believe Team Dog did manage to get it running for In Your Dream. I feel like I would have preferred something like a PA here instead, like it was left in the pool. You could have picked up the Slardar or the Magnus afterwards as well if you wanted to combo that way. Still, Troll is still pretty nice. You don't have the best supports for it though. Like, you've got the Undying for heals, but nothing like an Oracle or a Dazzle even to help you maximize your battle trance there. But it's still rather effective. We'll see what timings In Your Dream wants to hit. I do recall that he likes going for the Battle Fury buildup. TnC go into the Shadow Demon, again, as popular support that we've seen, is one way to maybe kite around the Troll Warlord. You've got Disruption coming in. You've got the Demonic Purge as well, which is fairly impactful in kiting a melee hero like this around.
10 seconds remaining.
So Team Dog, in your dreams specifically, will have to watch out for the Shadow Demon's positioning. Of course, TnC with the Shadow Demon and the Enchantress can actually stack a ton of camps up. They might be looking for something here for Gabby that will take stacks really well and kind of benefit from that flash back here.
Well, I mean, you brought up the PA, and that might just be the option for Gabby if he wanted to go down that route. Might be a little bit risky into the Troll Warlord, but they could definitely give it a shot, because Abed will be able to go back to his signature Storm as well, so they get that very comfortable kind of mid pick, and TnC, playing no games, will go for the Lina pickup now, so the mid lane is still kind of flexible, but I believe it is going to be KB on the off lane Void Spirit, and it should be the mid lane coming up for Armel. At least this way it kind of guarantees that Armel should be able to pretty much just win the mid lane, because he has such a big advantage on the Lina versus Storm matchup. And so that leaves an Ice hero now, and a Gabby hero. They have given the chance for Team Dog to get rid of the PA if they so wish.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the Void might be a little bit scary as well for Team Dog to go into right now. Even though it did receive those nerfs, but it still seems like Void is still pretty powerful, and there you go, they banned it out now.
It would have been a bit silly to let that slide through. You've got the Lina already that kind of gives you damage from outside as well. Even the Enchantress can kind of do that. Of course, it's one of the best pieces of control to keep a Storm in its place as well. So just a straightforward ban. TnC for their part do take out the Night Stalker and are still thinking about what Ice hero can come out. They take the Bloodseeker out. So just trying to free themselves from worrying about Rupture, worrying about the combinations you can get with the Blood Right, even the damage amplification he does get with his Rage out. So just covering their bases here. Does leave a couple of options. Tidehunter comes into mind. That is something Team Dog could just go for. And it's a very solid pickup for Ice. Does love playing that. The TnC, it's that PA we were talking about, slides through. They've got that physical burst along with Lina with magic burst here.
It's going to be a very, very interesting kind of draft here from TnC. I do get very confident when I see the Gabby PA pop up.
10 seconds.
We have seen In Your Dream on the Troll as well. We have seen a bit of Troll, in fact, and it has looked very strong in this current new patch. So I don't want to rule out the PA versus Troll matchup, but I think when you have the Shadow Demon there, to just throw the disruption out on the Troll through the battle trance, it does seem to get very difficult as the Troll Warlord to get much done. And you may kind of go back to just kind of relying on the Storm Spirit to get a lot of damage out and have that control while you are disrupted. Still, that is, all this being said, Ice, he is still lacking his own hero. Now, generally speaking, we don't see him taking on that kind of damage dealing role. He's usually quite a mischievous off-lane player, just trying to create space for his team and be as annoying as humanly possible to the opposing side. What do you want to give the man, though? His Viper is still there if they want to go back for that.
Yeah, they've still got the option for Tide. I think Viper into PA is alright, especially since you don't go for early evasion anyway. So that could be annoying to deal with. They could try the Brewmaster, it's in the pool. Although it has only been KP picking it up recently, but Ice is also a very mean Brewmaster player. And he is a very fun Brewmaster player as well. He's the trolliest one you can think of, so would love that to slide in.
Oh man, that first time we saw that Brewmaster split with no cooldown. So go for the Enigma instead, and that's I guess that's one way to kind of counter out the PA. You have the Midnight Pulse, you have the Black Hole, the damage is kind of insane. You can go into the late game now, and you might not be quite as worried about having your Black Hole cancelled off once you have a BKB up, because there's really nothing to go through it apart from maybe a bash off Gabby if he gets lucky by throwing a dagger out, but that's all I'm seeing here. So once Ice has the BKB, you're in a bit of trouble. You've got to watch out for the Enigma. Overall, though, which draft do you think you like a bit better here, John?
It's a bit hard to tell. I think both drafts are fairly even. They've got fairly interesting spikes to hit. I think this time around, Team Dog, with Abed Storm coming through, he doesn't have to worry about a Hex. he doesn't have anything major in terms of control that counteract him. Maybe a disruption to LSA, maybe a disruption into the Remnant from KP, or an enchanted creep from the Enchantress is it, but otherwise our Storm can just zip in and out. That's the biggest factor here. If Abed has a good game, he will buy space out for In Your Dream and even Ice 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 to make use of, and we did see that in Game 2 for Team Dog. So I think this time around, compared to the Game 1 draft with Storm, this is a much better Storm game for Team Dog. I'm gonna have to give a slight edge to Dog for having that comfort pick. It's still in BPA, so they've got comfort picks here as well for TnC, but I think Team Dog should be ready for that. We'll just have to wait and see how much Ice 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 can get from his own lane and what itemization he goes for. Is he going to opt for a fast BKB blink? Is he going to Greaves that we tend to see? It's fairly open for what he wants for in the
It certainly is, and we'll see what he does get up to. But a 1-1 so far. We are in a tied situation for the grand final. Winner of this game will be able to have a 2-1 advantage going into the fourth game now. So definitely a very important match between these two. I'd say if you do have that 1-game advantage, you're going to be feeling very, very good going into the fourth game, which might give you enough momentum to just try and pull yourself over the edge. See how much Team Dog and TnC can get done. Very, very hard for me to not have faith in the Gabby PA, I've got to say. Then again, though, Abed Storm, obviously very, very scary as well.
Yeah. It's two really strong signature heroes coming out here, so both sides are pulling out all the stops, just wanting to find that advantage into forcing the other team up against the wall. It is basically a best of 3 now because of that 1-1, so you do want that advantage going to the best of 3, which this kind of is now. And again, I'm just surprised here, Mike. There's just no alt chat. There's just no one throwing shade, making comments, or even wishing good luck. It's still all biz here at Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, it is a grand final, John. There's no friends in war. And there will be no talking until we crown a victor, I'm sure, between these two. Of course, TnC are looking for revenge from that upper bracket final that they did lose to Team Dog. They can win out this game. To get into it, of course, top lane, you're going to have Arfu there, around with Ice 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 on the Enigma. It's like Ice has already denied off 2 creeps in this first creep wave. In fact, never mind, one of them has escaped, but he is intending on trying to deny a secondary creep. Will be the range creep, of course, that he does want to get the deny off on. It's going to give him a very nice advantage, but Gabby was in range for that range creep. So overall, they don't get as much value out of denying it as possible. Gabby still does get some free XP for himself. See how he does in the lane. Enigma can be very, very tough to lane against. It's so easy to kind of deny creeps off with these Eidolons and just not give a proper lane over to Gabby on this PA.
Is going to struggle for the first few waves here because of what Ice 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 has done to the equilibrium. You've also got Febby being rather disrupted by Afu, just being chased around while he's trying to fix up his camps. Is at least going to find the D wards, but he's not going to have a pull camp as well. So it's going to be slower for Gabby. He is getting some EXP out, but Ice 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 is definitely getting the start he wants. We'll see if this is something they can fix out. It will take a while for TnC to kind of sort that out. The mid lane is where it is a bit spicy. You talked about the Lina versus Storm. Armel is having that good start you mentioned, just slightly better with his range, much better wave clear with the Dragon Slave as well, and Febby.
Oh, Febby does end up getting the first blood. Arfu just maybe overextending a little bit, and Febby, he had that level 1 enchant, and of course at level 1, Miranas tend to go for the arrow, so you didn't have the leap away, and Gabby was there with the follow-up damage. You really can't underestimate how much slow that level 1 enchant does do. It is quite a lot. So, Mirana takes it. You are more than likely going to die. Exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's still playing tag here, Afu with Febby. Not really able to interrupt what Febby's doing in these camps, and this is just exactly what you'd want as the Enchantress, just being disruptive. This is giving Gabby so much less pressure in his lane. He's still finding some steady farm, matching the pace of Ice Ice Ice. Ice does have a lot of denies, but that's to be expected. There's still sort of an okay lane here for Gabby overall. Gonna have to see how it holds up.
mid lane, he did throw the Vortex out onto Armel, but didn't bother going for the Static Remnant afterwards. Wanted to try and threaten Armel a little bit, but doesn't really do too much as Armel now lands the Light Strike Array. But it's just taking so much damage on this Storm. Of course, down to the bot lane, you've got KP and Tims there, up against Polison on that Undying, and, well, Polison might kind of be dead. Trying to run away, it looks like he is going to remain safe, has a Soul Rip anyway. And of course, the one player we didn't mention is going to be In Your Dream, who is farming just fine for now. Top of the last hits board, not really struggling whatsoever. On the side, everyone really dropping low across the map. Tims was dropping quite low, but he's going to be fine. This Mirana, Fu, going to TP back to the fountain. Looks like he was dropping very low. And even Arbed dropping extremely low on the Storm Spirit. Everyone going to survive, however.
Yeah, just playing poke with each other here, trying to get each other to waste some resources on the map. Going back to that bot lane, In Your Dream having the smooth start is a bit of a cause of concern. KP on the offlane. Void Spirit, of course, can just hold steady, get some EXP up, but he is not going to slow down the farm of this troll. And that is going to be an issue. Like, you're already seeing pressure applied to Gabby. He's still finding last hits, but it cost him every single time. Whereas for In Your Dream, in contrast, he is 27-7. This is pretty much a free lane. This does mean In Your Dream's going to have good timings into the Battle Fury if he wants to build that, and that is something TnC has to watch out for. If you allow In Your Dream to free farm like this and hit the Battle Fury timing better than Gabby will, it could cost you a ton.
KP gonna make the jump in onto In Your Dream, but now Tim's actually gonna be in danger. In Your Dream might just get the last attack off, get the daggers out, but it's not gonna be enough. Some nice body blocks there from KP. Tim's life on that Shadow Demon, but he is going to have to make the run back up towards the fountain, or maybe not, because he does end up salving up. But it is still going to allow In Your Dream to just keep freely farming up. Now that Troll Warlord, just one of those position ones that can dominate a lane pretty much by himself. It's just so powerful with the ability to switch to that range form at pretty much any moment. I'm gonna just go for the 5-minute bounty rune now, and there'll be no contest for it.
And this is one advantage for Team Dog. In Your Dream's got such a good lane. They can leave him alone. He can still secure runes. They can focus on trying to make it hellish for Gabby to farm. You're seeing Ice 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 now pull ahead of her PA as you'd expect. The supports are given a lot of room to just play tag here, although Afu is forced to go home. But the concentration on In Your Dream with his dual lane just isn't lining up. Like, maybe they can land the Disruption Remnant combo again and get enough damage out. You're gonna need to stack up more Shadow Poison stacks on this troll though, and there's just no opportunity to. So TnC off to a slower start, not really losing too much, but you do worry about the initial farming state here. After that first blood, the lanes are still going Team Dog's way.
That they are. Mid lane, Arbed gonna jump in onto Armel, getting a fair bit of damage out on this leader. Armel still gonna be okay for now, but Afu jumps in but doesn't get the arrow off. Ice Ice Ice, meanwhile, solo picks off Gabby. He did commit the black hole straight off the bat, but it's well and truly worth it if you can get a solo kill on the opposing +1. And that's exactly what he does.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I love seeing this from Ice. You know, we see some Enigmas not even opt to level the black hole, but going for that early black hole leads to a nice kill, slowing down Gabby's farm. It has already been a slower lane for him. Now his Battle Fury timing compared to In Your Dream is definitely not going to line up. And that's going to be an issue for TnC. Gabby will need to flash farm at some point. And the map is, you know, at the least your two other cores are fairly selfless in that Void Spirit and the Lina.
But Arbed stealing stacks away. That's going to be a lot of gold if he does get it. Armel is going to come in now and try to make sure that they do not get those stacks. He might be able to clear them out with the Dragon Slave. So KP does kill off Afu, and they'll back around onto Polson. The Undying getting very, very low, and eventually just accepts the fact that he is just dead. Kill the kill, and they basically get none of the creeps off that stack. It's going to be a pretty nice little win there for TnC.
Yeah, to get some good punishment in. I believe Abed got like maybe just 5 big creeps, not substantial, but that does force them to clear it out earlier. So that means you're not giving this to Gabby, again slowing down the PA in the end. I think that's what Team Dog was looking for, just forcing them to clear these stacks out, not give them to the PA, slowing down the timings of Gabby down the line, and continuously buy space for In Your Dream. When they made that movement out, they left In Your Dream alone. He's at level 7 now, he's got his phase boots, and he's just saving up for his own Battle Fury. So things are going smoothly here for Team Dog. Even Abed, his lane matchup was back and forth, is lagging behind a bit. He's going to need to get some space out, but so far I don't think he minds too much as long as In Your Dream actually does have a good start.
And that's it. Mel, getting into a jump here by Abed. He does have Pulsar behind, and that'll be a massive pickup if he can take it for Tims. There, with the disruption, still Abed. He got a last hit in. That strike array was not timed well. Abed is going to die for his trouble, but it's well worth it. Pulsar now also going to be in danger. Is taking a hell of a lot of damage on that Undying, but he is set to fall, and Gabby will be the one to take the kill. But considering the fact that Abed was so far behind Mel on the Lena, I'm pretty happy with taking that kill.
But definitely, it's a net gain there for Team Dog. Be happy getting a little bit of acceleration into Abed. He is still going for that Kaya into Bloodstone buildup, as we tend to see, so not going to be diverging from that buildup here. But that should still line up rather well, and Abed is still making some space out regardless. Like, Abed may die, he's forcing attention down mid. Ice is left alone to play greedy up top on the Enigma. He is going for that arc into Mech, into Guardian Greaves on the Enigma. And so far, it's paying off. Like, no one's contesting the Enigma, no one's contesting the Troll. TnC's attention's all kind of dedicated to finding the Storm and reacting to Abed's aggression, which is exactly what Team Dog wants. They're just pulling ahead slowly but surely in that fort, and they are clearing the map a little bit more efficiently here.
Gabby gonna find Arthur on that Marana. They do get the creep, but the black hole out from my size. Is it gonna be enough? Abed is gonna jump in, and they do burst down Gabby. A great black hole out from my size from the high ground, and now Febi's also gonna die. That's something you don't see every day, John. Ice, a very confident black hole does end up working in their favor. And even In Your Dream in the mid lane, picking up Tims on the Shadow Demon.
Oh yeah. It's
KP? He ends up getting Pulse on the Undying. Not too big of a deal, I guess.
No, definitely not. You are so much happier here on the side of Team Dog. They get the mid tier 1. Looks like they will trade their bot tier 1 for this, but a much bigger target going away with Team Dog, opening up the jungle rotations, and looks like they are still playing tag, keeping so much pressure in Gabby. He's just never free to farm up. It's slowly building up into the Battle Fury, but In Your Dream is definitely a step up here. That's not good news. Gabby, he is the PA player to watch out for, but it's been a while since we've seen him playing from behind, this far behind as well. 3.9k on the PA, In Your Dream at 5.5, a pretty big difference there.
It is. See how quick Gabby can catch up on the PA, but it's one of those things that the first carry that gets the first Battle Fury is generally the one that just takes the lead the whole game. Still top lane, Ice going to be pushed up immediately, and they will just burst him down. He does mech up, but it's not going to make all the difference. Abed, however, going to zip in after Mel, but does get disrupted up. Can they hold him down? No, they can't. Mel still going to be chased down. However, a nice light strike array, but he is going to die now. Abed wants to go for more. To KP, the Resonant Pulse is going to be enough, along with the Shadow Poison of Tims. He got the Lena, ends up costing him his own life. I start to question how worthwhile this is for our Storm.
Yeah, definitely not worthwhile there. They trade 2 cores. And the big one is losing. It's actually losing Ice. That makes it painful, because Ice is worth a little bit more than Abed, and you trade off those 2 cores. Good pickups for TnC. Finally finding some punishment out on the map, and that's what they need to do. They need to move as 3 or move as 4. Buy space out for Gabby. Get some pickoffs going. Got good control with the disruption setup, and we can definitely play with that, as there's no defensive items yet here on Team Dog.
Afu. Arrow does scout out Tims, but they don't want to really make the jump all the way back there. Team just kind of happy to sit back and give space. I say that, but Team Dog are being a bit more aggressive here on this Radiant side as net worth advantage. They feel much more confident. Dream on that Troll, gonna have a very, very fast Battle Fury timing at this rate. Give it about another 30 seconds and the Perseverance will be up. And that is going to be very quick when you consider the Phase Boots and the Wraith Band and even the Magic Wand. Mel going to show up at the bot lane, but he doesn't really catch out in your Dream. Your Dream not going to waste his time. He seems to sense that the side of TnC is down at that bot lane area. Does TP into the mid lane, back to his triangle. While the rest of his team, they go up to the top lane and... well, you could just pressure another tier 2 tower, especially with these Eidolons.
It's the beauty of the Enigma pickup. You can get a quick push going even without the Necronomicon creeps. Of course, TnC down bot are trying to do the same, doing a lot of damage onto that tier 2. And it looks like Team Dog actually aren't committing too much up top, so it will just force TnC to face off against that fortified. They do Moonlight Shadow though. It is only Afu and Pulse on nearby, so it might be costly if they do overstep.
Maybe. The Moonlight Shadow, they feel confident. No sentry wards around here from TnC to scout this out, or as I say that there is one on the ground there. Afu now underneath it, but it's not going to matter. It looks like he does just arrow the creep anyway. And that will make it very obvious there were invis. That's it, really. Apart from that, Febby does buy a fluffy hat, John.
Yeah,
fluffy hats are very nice and fluffy.
It does seem a bit more to wear a fluffy hat, but what else is up is In Your Dreams, Battle Fury's up. So he has cleared out his ancient stacks here. He's clearing out the camps now. It's a lot faster to farm up. This disparity between YD and Gabby is going to grow a bit wider. Now, Gabby's actually not too far off from his map here, about 1,000 gold off, but how long that 1,000 gold takes is going to be pivotal in how far IYD widen this gap. And you can see Ice, he's just left alone. The solo push top. Like, he's got the Eidolons down, his creep wave is coming in. There is a smoke from TnC though. Looks like they want to flank this maneuver.
They definitely need to do something. T2's going down for free. They need to do something about it. They jump in onto Arbed, but he has a haster and he just zips away. TnC still trying, but the smoke's too obvious now. Nothing going to come out of it. In fact, they don't even get the top bounties. Arbed will take those. They should be able to get the bottom ones as Gabby is around the area to just collect it for his team. You look at Gabby's farm though, he is really struggling right now. Still needs one more component for that Battle Fury, but he's just almost 3k behind In Your Dream. That is not where he wants to be as the PA.
No, it's also really troubling when you see Gabby level 9, and he knows he's really far behind in EXP. He's actually queuing up the tournament, so never a good sign when your pots aren't going for that.
Mid lane, Purge is going to be out onto In Your Dream to make sure they can't chase down Armel. Armel is going to be just fine. We do have a smoke up now. Team Dog.
Take us.
What DD Rune found out, Tim's just going to deny it, and he does spot out Ice. Let's break the smoke of the Enigma, but they still just continue with the Moonlight Shadow. They run straight into Tim's. Tim's goes for the disruption, but there's Tombstone being dropped by Paulison, and Tim's will just accept the fact that he is dead. They want more though. They'll go after Febby in the back lines with the arrow to connect. It'll be another nice, easy kill. Gabby is around the area. He is blurred up, can't see him right now. Looks like he should be just fine to get away.
Would have been nice to pick off Gabby here. He's just waiting for a few more gold to get a Battle Fury, so you would have stalled it for at least 20 seconds more, maybe a full minute more if you got that kill. Should be smooth sailing now that gold's going to be recuperating. TnC going to be playing in that triangle. You can see Team Dog going to try to clear out that top tier 2 now. They do have the numbers here. They've got the black hole already. Ice, speaking of, is saving up for his BKB next. So he was getting some good black holes. Without it, this time around he can be a lot more offensive and up in front with his own BKB being formed up relatively quick. Gabby, of course, Battle Fury's up 17 minutes in. Good, what, 3, maybe 4 minutes later than In Your Dream. does have a huge staff to take though, so this is definitely going to help the cause here.
Dire are
He needs
scanning.
everything he can get right now. Problem is the Roshan might be taken while he's taking that stack. That is not going to be great news for TnC. It's very hard to fight into this Roshan, even if you were aware of it as well, because you're going to be fighting into a black hole anti-size. He's not going to make it easy. They may kind of sniff out the Roshan now, but it is too late. But of course will take Aegis on Storm, and that is going to give them a very kind of confident next 4 to 5 minutes.
Vanished, but not gone.
And see, they might just have to try and avoid Team Dog to the best of their ability. I think it is going to be way too dangerous to run into them right now. They may have no choice in the matter though. KP scouting out, will spot out Ice, but Ice hits as well. They commit the black hole immediately. They just want an easy kill. KP, however, still gets the Yules off. It won't matter though. The Static Storm is going to be waiting for him.
A storm was coming.
And I do like that from Ice. I think if you're not using the black hole anyway, you may as well commit it. And it seems like he is well aware that TnC is not going to want to fight when you have the Aegis up on your Storm.
Yeah, it's just an opportunistic pickoff here for the side of Team Dog. He also understands that he'll probably not want to throw it out randomly anyway without the BKB. So this does give him some use before the BKB's up. It should line up. Cooldown should line up with when his BKB recipe flies out. It's perfectly timed for Ice. Gonna be really grateful finding that kill. Right now, Team Dog working through that map, taking over the triangle. They've got some good wards now watching that area. They've also got a nice jungle entrance ward to keep an eye out for the movement of TnC. TnC map is growing a little bit smaller, if not a bit riskier to farm. Gabby's still saving up for his Desolator. Really need that item to be up.
Arrow. Gonna land on to Tim's. They want that Shadow Kingdom. They will get him, but Gabby is gonna jump in after Arfu. They'd love to go after Arbed as well, but he's gonna be okay. Still Armel will come in from the left side. Light strike away. And Lacuna, Arfu on the Marana. Be a 1-for-1 on those position 4s. How's Gabby's farm going up? Battle Fury. I think he's
KP?
KP. He has an Astral Step charge. He's gonna drop Midnight Pulse is there, and they get the Malefice off. Very nice play. Once again from Ice on the Enigma. And Ice, he's going to have that BKB up extremely soon. It's not going to take very long. But Johnny, if I may, might get to see the Fan of Knives from Gabby.
Oh yeah, he's queuing it up. Decision here for the... I mean, it is scaling damage skill. So when you're behind, that's going to do a lot of damage to them as they are farmed up. It's going to be exciting to see that fly out. I do believe the Desolator is going to be done first. Looks like Gabby is going to prioritize a normal build first, but I am looking forward to this one. The Axe is also queued by Gabby. So hey, looks like he is experimenting with PA now. Should be careful as he's being rotated on.
They don't have the black hole for another 20 seconds, so he might feel safe enough. He's going to go for a play out, and he's going to make it bot lane. Armel gets caught out on the Lina. Arbed able to take that one along with Arfu. That's a pretty darn big pickoff.
Shadows take us.
TnC just, again, trying to just avoid the side of Team Dog, but now KP, he may not have a choice in the matter. He gets stunned up. He'll get it to Dissimulate out. They did not get any lucky ensnares there on In Your Dream. But now you've got the BKB up on In Your Dream. You've got a BKB up on Ice. He's going to start working towards the Blink Dagger. And the situation keeps looking worse and worse for TnC as time goes on.
Yeah, it's not looking smooth. They're still waiting for this Desolator on Gabby. He does have the gold, so it should be flying out soon. They're still lacking some farm here. KP still saving up for his Ags. He's definitely not taking farm priority at all. Armel does have his Shadow Blade Yule, so he's probably he's actually the most farmed up right now, and needs to make that work. However,
nice arrow block there from the creep of Febby, making sure KP does not get stunned up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still just happy to walk in and go for a black hole if he needs to.
Dire's bottom tower.
Very confident with that BKB being up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower. is
Meanwhile,
under
bot
attack.
lane, in your dream, just gonna solo push out the tier 2 tower. He's gonna make quick work of it as well. Really not gonna take that.
Dire's bottom
It's
tower
gone.
has fallen.
Oh, Mel might find a big pick off here. Ice, no, he gets the BKB off into the black hole on Arbed. Just gonna zip right through. Where the hell did he go? The disruption was there. Mel is still maybe gonna die. The Yules is out in time. He's trying to run. He can't get out though. Arbed will zip right after him. They purge up in your dream to try and make sure he can't chase any further, but he will pop the ulti. He will take down Febby, and now Tim's also being caught out by Arbed. They will get another. And it's looking to be another very dominant game here by Team Dog. This game
Dire's
number
middle
3.
tower is under
TnC are still
Radiant are
struggling to
scared.
find their footing.
Yep, they're still lacking a lot of
Dire's
farm, and
structures are fortified.
Armel, he was the highest farmed on his team. Now he falls behind even Gabby. Gabby needs to make this investment work. Does have the Deso walk. Did not go for the shards, by the way, Mike. He is going straight for the Hags.
Alfu did not connect the arrow. It land on a jungle creep, but KP still getting caught out thanks to the TP rotation of Arbed. I'm sorry, John, you were saying about the shards.
Yeah, he's not going for the shards. Gabby's going
Oh.
plain old Ag, so no fan of knives. No old school, old game skill. He is rushing the Divine right after, so you can see Gabby knows what this game is boiling down to. If he gets that smooth ride into the Ag's Divine, you might see a good bounce back here, but TnC, they have smoked up, trying to make something happen here, but they are just 3 heroes. They're down KP as well.
They are. Arbed gonna bottle up a haste rune. Is gonna narrowly avoid the smoke out from TnC.
Then
Armel with the Shadow Blade is going to go invis now, having a look around to see if he can find a target, but there is no one around for him to go after. You look back at Ice, he's a couple hundred gold away from having the full blink up now, and that's going to be a very, very scary time for TnC. Is now an arrow. Tim's.
Ooh.
He does not flinch. I probably would have, but he doesn't. He'll just keep TPing. Febby hiding in the tree line, also not flinching, and he's going to be fine. Everyone somehow survives on TnC.
Yeah, that's a very spicy sneak spot there for Febby. Might be in trouble now, and you might have caught the tail end of that.
No, he
Doesn't
didn't.
look like it. Oh, Abed.
Gets vision, however. Arbed zipping in, found Tim's, and it looks like he also found Armel. The Aghanim Scepter up on Arbed means he can go for that AoE Vortex into another. They go after KP now. Void Spirit is also going to go down.
they should have
And I
run.
suppose this is the point where it gets really scary to be on TnC. So you just don't have the magic immunity you need to go up against this AoE Vortex of the Storm. Things are getting very, very tough.
It's scary. You're gonna get a BKB now as well in Gabby, but seems adamant about going for the Ags build. They are gonna slowly siege up, but their creep wave was cut off, so they've only got one shot at this. Looks like the tier 2 will still fall. It is a troll. He does melt towers quick.
That he does. He has no fear in the world. It's just nothing to be afraid of here for him. It's back now, nice and easy. Into the mid lane they go. They still have coming up, I believe, Ice for an Aether Lens. Very interesting. No, he actually didn't buy the blink. He went straight Aether Lens. This builds into something now, doesn't it? Did they introduce a new item with this Aether Lens pickup?
Yeah, it goes into the Octarine.
Right. Okay, so they just switched it around.
Yeah, it looks like Ice will go for the Octarine. Still into the rush pick, TnC. No vision outside. You don't quite see this one happening. The big take for the side of Team Dog. Aegis cheese on the table. Abed going to be appreciating after one. The Inner Dream can have a little bit more weight up front. You can see the lines drawn. Just can't move fast enough to test this.
Can't, and an MKB now up on In Your Dream's going to make it that much harder to fight into this troll.
Huzzah!
I believe with this, Team Dog, they want to try for the high ground once again. Time around it was very, very easy, but the second time around it should not be quite as easy. In Your Dream seems to want to try for the top lane rather than the mid lane. Fair enough, the top lane is definitely going to be easier to push in than mid lane would be. They are going to be fighting
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
Gabby
is under
Aghanim
attack.
Scepter now, but he does not have buyback gold. They kill him once, this game could be over.
Dire's top tower.
Hail Mary play from Gabby. Light Striker is there. The Aegis not will spy. The mech gonna save in your team, and now Armel gonna be in massive trouble. He's a sitting duck and he is gonna die. Go for the rats. Armel, he can buy back. He will hold on for now. They've got to find a way to try and initiate it. Arbed, he gets initiation knock into 3 with the black hole out. Inside Suns, locking them all down. They'll fire back now. It may be too late though. Gabby, he's going to blink strike away in time. KP gonna jump back, get control, falling low, but he still has that Aegis and Arbed. Once again, a two-man vortex, catching them all out. That might be GG. An ultra kill up in your dream. They even got an arrow out onto Gabby. A rampage in your dream now, and that's it. They call a dominant victory for Team Dog in this game number 3.
Radiant victory.
And Johnny, it was quite dominant. I mean, they had this game the whole time.
Yeah, it reminded me of game 1 there for Team Dog. Abed this time around, you know,